Hello, welcome to the Random Car channel. Today we are going to be changing the stereo on my 2011 Toyota Sienna. So currently on my car I have an aftermarket stereo, and I'm going to be changing it with another aftermarket stereo. So right now I have a Pioneer AppRadio system in my van right now. I don't like it. It just never really worked well for me. So I'm going to be installing a newer Pioneer stereo with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all that newer, fancier stuff. So hopefully that one's going to be a nicer one than what I have in here right now. So basically I'm just going to show you how to remove the stereo and install a stereo. Okay, so when it comes to wiring, I'm not going to show you anything on that. There are harnesses you could buy, something like Crutchfield or Best Buy or some electronic store that will have a harness that will make it easier to just plug it in. Let's get started. So first we're going to have to remove a whole bunch of trim pieces. It's amazing how many different trim pieces you have to remove just to get access to the stereo compartment area. Okay, so the first trim piece you're going to have to remove is this trim that goes along above the glove box. Just like that. So there's going to be a connector right here. Just squeeze it and disconnect the harness. Got one out. Next, let's remove the shift knob. We're going to get this trim piece out next. So just unscrew it. Toss it out. Next, pop this sucker out. Another little harness here. Unplug it. There you go. Okay, next we're going to pry this guy out. Again, it's held in by clips. There we go. Pops out. There's a harness back here. That's it. One harness. This is out. Okay, so there are two 10mm nuts right here, so let's remove those. Okay, so there are two more nuts deeper in there. So there's one here. And there is one deep in there, just right above the shifter assembly. Just go in with an extension and get the 10mm. Okay, so I lost a nut in there. Hopefully I could find it later. Okay, so next we just pull the whole thing out. There we go. Okay, so I pulled out the stereo partially because in the back you'll find there's just a ton of wires to deal with. So the next step is just to disconnect all the harnesses and wires back there. I won't be doing a video on that just because I don't have a fancy way to mount the camera and show you guys, but basically just disconnect the radio. Okay, so one thing I did was use the space behind this rear view camera to put a harness, a steering wheel control adapter. So that's an easy one to access just by popping off this top panel. So there's tons of space in there, so you could put any kind of adapters, harness adapters and so forth for your stereo install, including GPS sensors and so forth. Alright, so now we have the stereo out of the car. You just have to remove the stereo from the console trim. So this one is held in by screws at the four corners here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So remove those screws. That's it. Okay, so just gotta remove, let's see, 4 screws. So for this, gotta just remove this bracket and then move this bracket onto the next one. This bracket is a Scotch, but you could find any, I think, Scotch, and there's also Metra. They just make these kits to install in for different cars. Okay, so this radio's out. So just reverse the order, installing the radio, the new one. I think really removing and installing the radio is the easy part. The hard part is really the wiring. There are tons of wires to figure out, and so this is my new stereo. It's a Pioneer AVH 4200 NEX. The biggest difference is that this stereo can do data coming from your car's OBD2 port to be able to display it on your stereo. So to do that, you have to have one of these Maestro controllers and a Toyota adapter kit. I don't have the Toyota adapter kit, so my plan is just to do a basic install. Basically install the stereo in place of what was connected to the old stereo, and just have it work. And then when I get the new Toyota harness adapter, I'll be able to connect everything together. So for now, I'm just going to see if I could plug this in to the same place where the old one was. and just get basic stereo function out of this. Hopefully including like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and all that. Okay, so let's put it all back together here. Alright, so there you go. I had to play around with the brackets quite a bit to get this thing to sit reasonably nicely. So just play around with the brackets, especially on the screws on the side of the mount, the screws on the side here. You know, just play around with the patterns and make sure you get this nice and, well, the way you like it at least. Alright, so next step is just put it back in the car. Alright, so let's connect this mess back together. Before you put everything back together, really, is to turn it on, make sure it works. Okay, so it turns on, and let's see if there's a radio. Okay, so I plugged in the Apple USB cord. Let's see if the Apple CarPlay works. Let's try an Android phone too. There you go. I gave Android Auto full control of my car. Okay, so this is the part where I start reversing the process. I have not covered the wiring part. Maybe when I put in the Maestro interface or the data link interface, I might record that, but we'll see. Because wiring's a pain in the butt, and it's it would make a very long, hard video to explain too. So anyway, so how to put it back together again? Just reverse the order that you took it apart. And by now, you know, as you notice, it's a lot of snaps and clips and stuff that's holding this interior together, which helps makes this job easy, easier than it should be. Or yeah, the snaps and clips and whatnot just makes this job much easier. Again, I did not show the wiring. I even installed the microphone, I ran a wire from back here across this dash down to that speaker there and up along the A-pillar and up across the headliner. It was such a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna try to explain it, but just be creative. Again, there's a lot of clips and stuff, and you know, this interior is kind of easy to figure out, except stay away from the airbag. There's an airbag right here under this black part, behind this upper glove box. And this upper glove box is easy to remove. A few screws and clips and so forth that's holding that together, so you could get access underneath and up. So again, just stay away from the airbag and you should be fine. Okay, so let's reverse this process. That's it. Putting it back together is easy. Turn it on. Okay, so that's the install of my stereo for now, minus the wiring. Stay tuned for maybe my next video would be working on the wiring, connecting that interface unit, but for now it works well enough for me. It plays music, it connects to the phone, and I can do navigation and all that for now. So that's already pretty good. So thank you for watching. Please click like, subscribe, and comment any questions you have below. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your next project.